Recently we were in Romania. That gave us the opportunity to film some lesser-known spy locations in the capital, Bucharest. One of them is the former headquarters of Securitate, or Department of State Security, that existed from 1948 and until 1989 under the guidance of the Soviet Union's NKVD, the predecessor of KGB. Welcome to Spy Spots. During the Second World War, Romania, under the government of Ion Antonescu, joined Germany's Nazi forces, declaring war against the Soviet Union in 1940, with its first major involvement being Operation Barbarossa in 1941, under the leadership of the German High Command. The Soviet Red Army managed to repel Nazis and regain grounds, including Romania later in the war. Following Antonescu, King Michael I launched a coup to retake control of Romania and move it away of the Nazis, joining the Allied forces in 1944. After the war, the Soviet Union occupied Romania as the only representative of the Allied forces and imposed harsh terms, including installing a communist government by 1947. All of that set the foundations for a country that was heavily controlled by the Soviet Union in the upcoming years, eventually creating the Socialist Republic of Romania that existed until 1989. Part of that control was also the creation of a spy agency that was the DGSP, or General Directorate for the Security of the People, better known as Securitate. It was created in August of 1948 to defend democratic conquest and guarantee the safety of the Romanian People's Republic against both internal and external enemies. The first director of Securitate was actually a Soviet-Romanian spy master, General Gheorghe Pintilie, who led the agency for its first 10 years, 1948 to 1958. And almost all his prior clandestine career, influence networks, and assets was focused exclusively in Romania, making him a great candidate from the Soviet Union's perspective. But enough with the history, let's talk about today's spy spot, this strange-looking building. At the base of this unusual structure, you see the first headquarters of Securitate, located at the heart of what used to be called the Palace Square before the fall of the communist regime. In 1989, after 42 years, the Communist Party was overthrown, following a major civil unrest leading to the trial and execution of the Romanian Communist Party General Secretary Nicolae Ceaușescu and his wife Elena, and the removal of the country from the Warsaw Pact. Due to those events, the former Palace Square was renamed to Revolution Square. You can also imagine that one of the primary targets during that civil unrest was Securitate and its high-profile headquarters building. This left the building heavily damaged, with the upper half of it almost completely destroyed. On December 21, 1989, Ceaușescu stepped onto the balcony of the Central Committee of the Romanian Communist Party and gave his last speech to approximately 80,000 people. It's this massive building, literally next to it. Today this is the home of Romania's Ministry of Health, Ministry of Internal Affairs, and Ministry of Justice. During his speech, gunshots can be heard and several Communist Party buildings were subsequently set on fire, including the headquarters of Securitate, leaving it to a state like this. And now you see why this square was renamed to Revolution Square following this event. And it's also why, at the center of this square, you can find the Revival's Memorial, honoring the victims of the revolution of 1989. The building was left at this stage for 14 years until 2003, when the Architects Association of Romania, and more precisely, architects Zeno Bogdanescu and Dan Marin, came up with this design. Since it was a heritage building and could not be destroyed, the architects came up with this design that combines the old and new Romania, and today is the home of the Union of the Romanian Architects. Before closing, it's worth highlighting that we've seen some conflicting references about the exact use of this building by Securitate. Some state it was the main headquarters for the agency overall, while others that it was only used by the 5th Directorate, the Security and Guard Directorate, responsible for executive protection of government officials with overt and covert methods. For example, Colonel Dumitru Burlan of the 5th Directorate became known as the chief bodyguard of President Nicolae Ceaușescu, occasionally also acting as his double in high-risk events. There are many more impressive spy spots with equally significant historical importance all around Romania, and even more so in Bucharest, that we'll be covering in future episodes of this series. Now, if you have the opportunity to visit this beautiful city, stop by those buildings at the Revolution Square and take a moment to think of the history and memories they represent. The building that was once the epicenter of numerous covert and clandestine activities for Securitate, and the square that marked the end of communism in Romania, can be easily ignored from a passerby, but they are remarkable demonstrations that nothing is as it seems.